Are you ready to unlock the secret to living a life of true peace, freedom, and presence? Well, today is your day. This isn't just another self-help book. This is a roadmap to living fully in the present moment. No more living on autopilot, no more being controlled by your thoughts. Imagine breaking free from the endless chatter of your mind. Imagine experiencing peace that's not dependent on anything outside of you. Imagine finally understanding the true power of the present moment and how to live it fully. Sounds incredible, right? So buckle up. Chapter 1. You are not your mind. Unlocking the power of presence. The illusion of the mind. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the voice inside your head is not actually you. This voice, the one that judges, criticizes, worries, and obsesses, is just a stream of thoughts. Most people live their entire lives as prisoners of this voice, believing that their thoughts define them. But what if you could step back and observe this voice rather than be controlled by it? That's the beginning of true freedom. The constant chatter. Why we suffer. Close your eyes for a moment and listen. What do you hear? A constant stream of thoughts, endless conversations in your head. Some are about the past, replaying regrets and memories. Others are about the future, worrying about what's to come. Rarely is your mind ever still. This mental noise is the root of most human suffering. We live trapped in an illusion, mistaking our thoughts for reality. Breaking free from thought addiction. The first step to true peace is to realize a simple truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes them. Take a deep breath. Right now, at this very moment, can you find a real problem in your life? Not something from the past. Not a worry about the future. Right now, in this present moment, what is wrong? Most of the time, the answer is nothing. The present moment is always peaceful. The ego, the false self. The mind creates an identity, a story of who you are. It tells you, I am successful. I am a failure. I am this kind of person. But these are just labels. Your true self is beyond labels. It is pure awareness beyond thought. The ego fears silence because in silence it cannot exist. That's why it fills your mind with endless chatter. The power of presence. Try this. For the next few seconds, stop thinking. Just be. Feel your breath. Feel the aliveness in your hands. That silent presence, that's your true self. When you live in the present moment, your problems dissolve. Anxiety fades. Stress disappears. You become free. This is the power of now. Practicing awareness in everyday life. You don't need to escape to a mountain to be present. You can practice awareness anywhere, anytime. When drinking coffee, truly taste it. When walking, feel each step. When listening to someone, give them your full attention. Each moment becomes rich, full of life. The journey to inner peace starts with one realization. You are not your mind. You are the observer. Your thoughts do not define you. Your past does not define you. All you have is this moment. And in this moment, you are free. So take a breath, be present, and step into the power of now. Chapter 2. Consciousness, the way out of pain. The invisible chains of pain. Most people carry an invisible burden. Emotional pain from the past. It lingers in the background, influencing thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. Some call it stress, anxiety, or sadness. But at its core, it is unresolved emotional pain, what author calls the pain body. The good news? You don't have to carry it forever. Understanding the pain body. The pain body is an accumulation of past hurts, disappointments, and traumas. It feeds on negativity. It thrives on conflict. When activated, it takes control, reacting with anger, self-pity, or fear. But here's the truth. You are not your pain body. You are the awareness that can observe it. How the pain body controls you. Have you ever snapped at someone and regretted it later? Or felt overwhelmed by sadness for no reason? That's the pain body taking over. It uses your thoughts to keep itself alive, feeding on resentment, guilt, and fear. It makes you believe that suffering is part of who you are, but it's not. You can break free. The first step to freedom? Awareness. The moment you recognize the pain body as separate from you, it loses power. When it arises, simply observe it. Don't resist it. Don't judge it. Just watch it. By bringing awareness to it, you take away its control. The past no longer exists. The future is just a thought. Your pain body can only survive if you keep reliving old wounds. But if you stay in the now, it has no power. Try this. Take a deep breath. Feel your body. Be fully present. Right now, in this moment, there is no pain, only peace. Transforming pain into peace. Pain can be your greatest teacher. Every time you face it with awareness, it dissolves. Your suffering becomes wisdom. Your wounds become strength. What was once your greatest burden becomes your greatest liberation. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are the awareness beyond it. When you embrace the present moment, the chains of suffering break. The way out of pain is not through resistance, it's through presence. So breathe, let go, and step into the power of now. Chapter 3. Moving deeply into the now. Most people live trapped in an illusion, the illusion of time. We dwell in the past, replaying regrets and memories. We project into the future, hoping happiness lies ahead. But real life is never in the past or future. It is only in the now. The mind's obsession with time. Your mind is addicted to time. It constantly tells you that fulfillment exists in the future. It whispers, "One day when I have more money, more success, more love, then I'll be happy." But when that day comes, the mind moves the goalpost. You stay stuck in an endless cycle of seeking, never arriving. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Right now, in this moment, is there a problem? Not a future worry. Not a past regret. Right now, what is wrong? The answer is almost always nothing. The present moment is always peaceful. Experiencing true presence. Try this. Feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. Notice the sensations in your hands, your feet, your body. Listen to the sounds around you without labeling them. This is presence. This is life in its purest form. The stillness beneath the noise. Even in the busiest of moments, stillness exists beneath the noise. Like the depth of the ocean beneath crashing waves, silence is always present within you. You just have to notice it. The more you connect with this stillness, the more peace fills your life. The mind resists presence because it thrives on time. But the more you observe your thoughts, the less control they have over you. Watch your mind like a silent witness. Don't judge. Don't react. Just observe. This awareness dissolves the illusion of time and brings you back to now. The past is a memory. The future is imagination. The only moment that ever truly exists is now. When you embrace this fully, fear and stress vanish. You step into a life of presence, peace, and true fulfillment. So breathe, be here, and live in the power of now. Chapter 4. Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now. The mind's greatest trick. Your mind is a master illusionist. It constantly pulls you away from the present moment. It distracts you with regrets of the past and worries about the future. But why does the mind resist now so much? Because in the present moment, the mind loses its power. The mind creates an illusion of time, convincing you that happiness is always later. It says, "Once I achieve this goal, then I'll be at peace." But that day never truly arrives. No matter how much you accomplish, the mind keeps searching for more. This is how people spend their lives chasing an illusion. The mind clings to personal identity, your story, your past, your struggles. It tells you, "I am this way because of what happened to me." But this attachment to identity keeps you locked in suffering. True freedom comes when you step beyond the story. Who you are is not your past, it is the awareness beneath it. Have you ever tried to sit in silence, only for your mind to protest? That's because the ego thrives on noise and distraction. But presence is not about fighting the mind. It's about observing it, without resistance, without judgment. The more you watch your thoughts, the weaker their hold becomes. The mind loves to control life, believing that planning and worrying create security. But the truth is, life is uncontrollable. Surrendering to the present doesn't mean giving up. It means embracing reality as it is, without fear, without struggle. Imagine a moment where you are fully present. No past. No future. Just here. In that moment, you are free. Stress dissolves. Fear disappears. Peace takes over. This is not a distant dream. It is available right now. Your mind is a tool, but it should not be your master. When you step beyond its illusions, you reclaim your power. The present moment is the only thing that is real. So let go, be here, and step fully into the now. Chapter 5. The State of Presence. The Gateway to Freedom. There is a state beyond stress, beyond worry, beyond fear. A state where peace is not something to seek, but something you are. This state is presence. It is the key to freedom, the path to enlightenment, and the end of suffering. What is presence? Presence is complete awareness of the now. It is the deep realization that life is only ever happening in this moment. No past. No future. Only the eternal now. When you live in presence, your mind becomes quiet, and your soul awakens. How the mind resists presence. Your mind thrives on distraction. It pulls you into thoughts of the past, reliving mistakes and regrets. It drags you into the future, creating anxiety and endless planning. The mind fears presence, because in the now, it loses its power. You don't need to fight your thoughts. Simply watch them. Like clouds passing in the sky, observe them without attachment. When you become the watcher, thoughts lose their grip on you. You shift from being lost in the mind to being free in the present. Presence is not just for meditation, it's for every moment. When drinking coffee, feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. When walking, notice each step, the air on your skin. When listening, give your full attention, without waiting for your turn to speak. Presence transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Even in the busiest moments, stillness is always there. Like the depth of the ocean beneath surface waves, silence exists beneath thoughts. Connect with this inner stillness, and you connect with your true self. The ultimate truth. You are presence. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that watches them. Beyond the noise of the mind, beyond time itself, you are the silent presence of now. This realization is the end of suffering and the beginning of true peace. The past is gone. The future is not here. The only real life is this moment. When you embrace presence, fear dissolves and joy arises. So breathe, be still, and step fully into the power of now. Chapter 6. The Inner Body. What if you could access a deeper sense of being that goes beyond your thoughts, emotions, and external surroundings? The inner body is more than just your physical form. It's the living essence that's within you, the energy that fuels your existence beyond mere muscle, bone, and skin. But most people aren't aware of it. So, how do we connect to this powerful source? Author teaches us to become aware of it by simply focusing our attention inward. By doing this, we tap into a vast well of energy that exists beneath the surface of the body. This is what author calls the inner body. It's a silent, energetic presence that exists beneath the physical form, and it's always with us. But in the chaos of daily life, we often forget about it. When you focus on the inner body, you shift from thinking to feeling. You drop into the present moment, away from mental distractions and judgments, and into the pure experience of being alive. Think about it. How often do you check in with your body? How often do you stop to feel your heartbeat, the warmth of your skin, or the sensations that ripple through your body? This practice of becoming aware of the inner body is transformative. By regularly tuning into the inner body, you create an anchor to the present moment. You stop reacting to external events and instead react from a place of deep presence and awareness. This practice is not just mental, it's experiential. The inner body isn't something you can see with your eyes, but you can feel it. It's the pulse of life that runs through you, the vitality that sustains every action you take. Tuning into the inner body allows you to access a sense of peace and aliveness that goes beyond the mind. It's a space of stillness and vitality, where you feel at one with the moment, free from distraction. As you practice this awareness, you'll notice that the more present you become with the inner body, the less power thoughts and external circumstances have over you. You stop identifying with your mind and instead identify with the life force flowing within you. Author also encourages us to use the inner body as a portal to the present moment. By focusing inward, you reconnect with your essence and align yourself with the flow of life. This simple practice is a doorway to deeper levels of consciousness. As you become more attuned to your inner body, you cultivate peace, presence, and an effortless connection to the now. The inner body is not just a concept, it's a lived experience. When you tune into it, you access the power of the present moment and align yourself with the natural rhythm of life. It's a path to peace, vitality, and true presence. Chapter 7. Portals into the Unmanifested. Are you ready to uncover the hidden dimensions of existence? The ones that go beyond time, thought, and physical form? Let's explore Chapter 7 of The Power of Now, Portals into the Unmanifested. You might be wondering, what exactly is the unmanifested? It's not something we can touch, see, or even comprehend with our minds. The unmanifested is the essence of everything that exists, yet it remains beyond our sensory world. It's a dimension of stillness, of pure presence, a place where thoughts, distractions, and judgments dissolve. In this stillness, we connect to the essence of life, and we move beyond the noise of the mind. But how do we access this elusive world? It's simple, through stillness. When you stop the mental chatter, when you surrender to the present moment, a portal to the unmanifested opens up. So, why is the unmanifested so essential? It's the source of all peace, wisdom, and true presence. By connecting to it, we stop identifying with the constant flow of thoughts in the world around us. We begin living from a deeper space of awareness. The present moment itself is the portal. When you are fully present, you align with the very source of existence. Time ceases to matter, and all that remains is the now. But there's one more thing, the role of silence. Silence is the key to unlocking the unmanifested. It's not just the absence of noise, it's the space where we can truly feel the essence of life around us. By embracing silence, you stop reacting and start responding with awareness. You stop being swept away by life and begin living from a place of stillness, free from the chaos of thought and distraction. The unmanifested isn't just a concept. It's a state of being, a state of presence. When you're fully in the moment, you tap into this infinite source of peace and wisdom. And from that space, life begins to transform. So, are you ready to open the portal to the unmanifested? It's waiting for you. All you have to do is stop thinking, stop reacting, and embrace the power of the present moment. Chapter 8. Enlightened Relationships. What if the key to transforming your relationships isn't about changing the other person, but changing yourself? Welcome to Chapter 8 of The Power of Now, Enlightened Relationships. We all crave connection, but sometimes relationships become a source of pain, conflict, or stress. Why is that? Our relationships often suffer because we are disconnected from the present moment. Instead of being truly present with the people around us, we're often trapped in our minds, judging, comparing, and analyzing. But here's the powerful truth. If you want to transform your relationships, you must first transform yourself. Author teaches us that to be enlightened in relationships, we need to let go of the ego, the part of us that is always seeking validation, control, and superiority. When we free ourselves from this mental construct, we open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. But what does that look like in practice? It means listening without judgment. It means being fully present in the moment without letting your mind wander to past grievances or future expectations. When you are fully present, you are no longer reacting from a place of fear, insecurity, or need. You are simply being, and in that space, true connection can occur. True love is not based on need or attachment. It's a presence that arises when both people are grounded in the now. This love is unconditional, free from expectations, and it flourishes in the present moment. To experience this love, we need to free ourselves from the egoic mind, which is constantly focused on what we can get from others. Instead, we must shift our attention to what we can give, to be fully present with the other person without the need for personal gain. When you let go of your expectations, you stop putting pressure on the relationship. You allow the relationship to evolve naturally, free from control, and in a space where both individuals can be fully themselves. True intimacy is not about revealing every detail of your life or emotions. It's about being open to the present moment and connecting with the essence of the other person. It's about being aware of the space between you. This is where true connection lies. The key to enlightened relationships is the ability to be present, to listen deeply, and to engage from a place of stillness. In doing so, you not only improve your relationship with others, but you also deepen your relationship with yourself. Enlightened relationships are not about perfection. They are about presence. They are about being with the other person without judgment, without expectation, and with a sense of deep love and understanding. The more you practice presence in your relationships, the more you'll notice how they transform. Instead of conflict, there's harmony. Instead of control, there's freedom. Instead of attachment, there's love. So the next time you're in a relationship, whether it's romantic, familial, or friendship, try this. Let go of the ego. Let go of the need to control and simply be present. The results will be nothing short of transformative. Remember, the most important relationship you can have is the one with yourself. By practicing presence in your own life, you'll naturally attract more presence in your relationships. Enlightened relationships are possible when we connect deeply with the essence of others, not from a place of attachment, but from the stillness and peace within. That's the true power of presence. Chapter 9. Beyond Happiness and Unhappiness, the Meaning of Surrender. Imagine a life free from the constant cycle of seeking happiness and avoiding unhappiness. What if true peace comes not from getting what you want, but from surrendering to what is? Welcome to Chapter 9 of The Power of Now. Beyond Happiness and Unhappiness, the Meaning of Surrender. In this chapter, author takes us beyond the constant pursuit of happiness that we all chase, but rarely attain. We often believe that happiness is the goal, but author reveals that this pursuit is actually a trap. The more we seek happiness, the more we reinforce the idea that something is lacking in our lives. The truth is, happiness can only exist in the present moment, not in some future scenario. And yet, we're often consumed by the desire for more. So what's the solution? The key is surrender. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to a life of passivity. It's about fully accepting the present moment as it is without judgment or resistance. Surrendering to the present moment is the gateway to peace. It's the act of letting go of mental resistance to what is. This surrender is not about inaction. It's about being fully aware and engaged in the now, without the burden of expectations. The mind often wants to change the present. It wants to control and manipulate the circumstances of our lives. But in doing so, it creates suffering. When we accept the present moment, we are free from the mind's constant battle for control. Let's be clear. Surrender doesn't mean you stop striving for your goals or desires. It means you stop fighting against the reality of the moment. When you let go of resistance, you align with the flow of life. And in doing so, you enter a state of true peace. This is what it means to be free, to let go of the need to control. To let go of the story your mind tells you about who you are and what you should be doing. Instead, you embrace the present moment as it is and experience life as it unfolds. When we stop seeking happiness, we actually create the space for it to enter our lives. Happiness arises naturally when we are no longer grasping for it, when we stop labeling our experiences as good or bad. Surrender also means letting go of the ego. The ego thrives on comparison, judgment, and the need for validation. But the ego is not who you are. It's just a mental construct. When you surrender, you free yourself from the ego's hold. The power of surrender is transformative. When you stop resisting life and its challenges, you realize that the universe is always working with you, not against you. Everything you encounter is an opportunity for growth. This doesn't mean that life will always be easy. Challenges and difficulties will arise. But when you surrender, you approach them with acceptance and peace. You no longer react impulsively or with resistance, but rather with calm and clarity. Surrender isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about accepting discomfort and finding peace within it. When you do this, you stop creating suffering for yourself and you stop contributing to the suffering of others. Ultimately, the meaning of surrender is the realization that you don't need to change the world or your circumstances to find peace. True peace comes from within when you fully accept what is right now. As you practice surrender, you'll notice a deep shift in your experience of life. You'll find that instead of seeking happiness, you'll experience it naturally in every moment. And instead of avoiding unhappiness, you'll embrace whatever comes your way with grace. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember that you don't have to control everything. Surrender to the moment. Let go of your mental resistance and you'll find peace waiting for you in the stillness. The meaning of surrender is simple. It's the release of control and the acceptance of the present moment. In that acceptance, you find the freedom, peace, and happiness you've been seeking all along. Chapter 10. The key to the spiritual dimension, the power of now. What if I told you that the key to unlocking the spiritual dimension lies in something you already have, right now, in this very moment? Welcome to Chapter 10 of The Power of Now, the key to the spiritual dimension, the power of now. In this chapter, author brings us face to face with one of the most profound truths. The spiritual dimension isn't something you have to reach for in the future. It's something you can access right now, in the present moment. Many people believe that spirituality is something separate, something they must seek outside of themselves. But author shows us that spirituality is about being in harmony with the present. It's not about following a set of rules or achieving a specific state. It's about recognizing the sacredness of the now. What does it mean to access the spiritual dimension? It's about connecting with a deeper level of consciousness beyond the thinking mind. This connection isn't something you force. It's something that naturally arises when you stop identifying with your thoughts and become fully present. Author explains that the present moment is the entryway to spiritual awakening. The more you can ground yourself in the now, the more you align with the spiritual dimension. The ego cannot exist in the present. The ego lives in the past or the future, but true spiritual awareness only exists in the now. Think about it. When you are completely present, free from the chatter of your mind, you experience a sense of peace and connectedness that transcends everything else. This is the spiritual dimension that author speaks of, a state of consciousness that isn't bound by time or space. The power of the now isn't just about being mindful. It's about embodying the awareness that the present moment is all there is. It's about letting go of your attachment to time and becoming fully immersed in the experience of life as it unfolds. This isn't some abstract concept. You can begin practicing this today. Simply take a deep breath and bring yourself fully into the moment. Notice the sensations around you, the sounds, the sights, the feelings. Allow yourself to be fully here, without distraction, without the pull of your thoughts. The spiritual dimension isn't about doing more. It's about doing less in a way. The less you identify with the mental activity of the mind, the more you open yourself to a higher state of being. The power of now allows you to transcend the limitations of your mind. It's not about eliminating thoughts, but rather observing them without getting caught up in them. When you observe your thoughts without attachment, you create space for a deeper awareness to emerge. This awareness brings you into a state of being rather than doing. It's in this state that you can connect with the universal consciousness, the higher energy that flows through all of life. This energy is what many traditions call spirit, the essence of who we truly are. True spiritual awakening happens when you stop seeking and start being. It's about recognizing that the sacredness of life is already within you, and the present moment is the doorway to this realization. When you live in the now, you are not just spiritually aware, you are spiritually awakened. The key to the spiritual dimension is already within you. It's just waiting for you to wake up to it. Spiritual awakening isn't about reaching some ultimate goal, it's about being present with whatever is happening right now. In that presence, you find a sense of peace, a deep connection with life, and an understanding that goes beyond thought. So, the next time you find yourself lost in your thoughts, remember that the key to accessing the spiritual dimension is simply to be present. Let go of your attachment to time and allow yourself to experience life as it is. The power of now is waiting for you. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the power of now. You've just unlocked the secrets to living in the present moment, understanding that you are not your thoughts, and learning to accept the flow of life as it is. But here's the thing, this is only the beginning. The true power of these teachings comes when you begin to live them. By now, you should have a better understanding of how to embrace the present moment, to let go of the past and future, and step into the now with full awareness. This shift in perception isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a practical way to transform your life. The mind may still try to pull you back into old habits, but now you have the tools to disidentify from it and choose peace instead. You can experience life on a deeper level, no longer lost in thought or distracted by worries. As you move forward, remember that true freedom comes from within. You have the power to stop resisting the present moment, to stop fighting against what is, and to allow peace to wash over you. ThriveX, where growth begins. Don't miss out. Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to stay inspired. Together, we'll unlock your full potential.